and welcome everyone to the introductory session of Google Cloud Presents AI for Impact Hackathon, powered by Hack to Skill. I'm Uzma and I'll be your host for today's session. We are super excited to have you here as we kick off this journey where AI meets real world problems, especially those affecting the APAC region. So, what is this hackathon all about? Well, the AI for Impact Hackathon is your chance to use the power of AI to tackle some of the most pressing social challenges across the APAC region. Whether you're a developer, a freelancer, or IT practitioner based in the APAC region, we encourage you to join and make a real difference. AI is rapidly changing the world, and Google Cloud is at the forefront of this revolution. With Google Cloud's GenAI tools like Gemma, Gemini, Vertex AI, and Gemini Code Assist, you'll be able to create solutions that can really make a difference. Think about it. Whether it's improving healthcare, enhancing education, pushing for sustainability, or making technology more accessible, you can harness the AI tools of Google Cloud to develop innovative solutions that improve lives. So this is the timeline for the event. And we are currently in the registration and idea submission phase. And here's what you need to know. It's pretty simple. You need to register yourself. That's the first step. Then you need to form a team. You can form a team of up to 4 members. And then you need to submit your idea. The deadline for registrations and idea submissions is November 17th, so don't miss out. By the end of November, we'll announce the initial shortlisted teams who will move on to the prototype phase. And then we have the grand finale in the later half of December. Now let's talk about what's in it for you. Well, apart from getting a chance to create an impact, we've got some incredible rewards lined up, and trust me, they are worth the hustle. There's a cash pool prize of 20,000 US dollars. And the real win is the chance to be mentored by some of the best minds at Google Cloud. The top teams of this hackathon will get a chance to receive feedback and mentorship from the Google for Startups team. For all the teams and valid idea submissions, we've also got certificates of recognition, which is a great way to validate your skills. Earlier this year, Google Cloud also executed a GenAI hackathon, and the top winning teams got the chance to present their idea in the Google I/O event, which we all know is one of the biggest developers event of the world. So similarly, winners of this hackathon will also have a chance to present their solutions at another Google event. Now, the next point is huge. If your project really stands out, you could stand a chance to pitch your solution in front of VCs and investors. This could open doors to funding and maybe even turn your ideas into a real product or business. So not only do you get the chance to solve meaningful problems and learn along the way, but you also stand a chance to earn cash prizes, gain mentorship, build your portfolio with certifications, and potentially get your solution in front of investors. Now, we have several themes for you to choose from, which are healthcare, natural disasters, public service, environment, people with disabilities, community empowerment, and education. But if you have observed any other challenge that you want to solve for, you can select the Open Innovation Social Good and submit your solution under that. Now we are moving to the session. I am thrilled to have Anchit Nishant, a customer engineer at Google Cloud with us today. Anchit brings nearly a decade of experience designing and implementing cloud-based solutions. He specializes in containers, serverless, cloud-native solutions, and of course, generative AI. Today, he's going to share his insights into how you can leverage Google Cloud's tools for social impact. After his talk, we'll have a Q&A session, so make sure you type your questions in the chat box during the presentation. Now, without further ado, please welcome Anchit Nishant. Welcome, Anchit.
Thank you, Uzma. Hello, everyone. So, just I hope you guys are excited on this hackathon. I would really want to see a lot of new ideas coming in. Today, what I'm going to show you is how you can use Google Cloud, the various Google Cloud tools, various Google tools to implement your ideas and, of course, build the POC. So let me quickly share my screen. Okay, so let's get started. So we all have seen lots and lots of launches, improvements in generative AI in the past few years, specifically from 2022, right? However, we have been seeing the impact of AI in our day to day lives for a very long time. Google has been an innovator, and for us, AI is not very new. If I quickly go through the brief history, we are the ones who brought in a lot of AI papers. We brought in a lot of AI tools, consumer tools, tools which help Google internally, and the consumers also are currently using AI and have been using AI for quite some time. If I just go and showcase some of the examples, you are using Google Translate for translation. We do Google directly out of the box gives you translation for multiple languages. This is again all possible by AI. We all have been using Google Photos, and it's not just a store of photos. You can search for elements, you can search for people, you can search for environments, a lot of things in Google Photos, and all this again through the power of machine learning and AI. Similarly, if we talk about the smart replies, so almost every one of us uses Gmail, right? And we have seen in the Gmail messages, we have smart responses, which again tells you what could be your next response. Again, that's the power of AI. Or if you all have smart devices at home, again, it's a work of AI. Now, these are things of the past. Some things which are new, upcoming, and awesome. Definitely, you would have tried the new Gemini app or the Google Lens app. So a lot of things which can be done right now with AI. For example, searching for a product, searching for information on some area, maybe which your inputs are not just text anymore, right? Now these are the consumer focus solutions which Google does. However, here we are all gathered together to build something for the betterment of the society, so for industries, for enterprises, right? So there are a lot of use cases in enterprises as well. And how do we make use of it? We have different kind of services in different segments. For example, if you directly want to use APIs, pre-trained models, Google has a lot of pre-trained models which are given. Just call the APIs, given an input, and you get the output. Or if you want to build your own ML model and you have your data somewhere, so you put your data in Google Cloud into BigQuery, run an ML model on top of it, and you get a built ML model on top of your data, which you can directly infer from. Or if you want to start from scratch, build out, get some infrastructure, and start your ML journey from scratch without any preloaded or predetermined models. So, AI, currently, we can segregate AI into two parts: the predictive AI, the pre Gen AI era, and the generative AI. And one more multimodal generative AI, where we are not just talking about text. However, the inputs and outputs in some of the cases can be multimodal, can be text, can be images, can be audio, can be video. This is where we jump into the new generation of AI. Let's talk about the era of Gemini. Now, Gemini is Google's most capable model. Again, significant breakthroughs done. It has advanced reasoning, understanding. It can solve complex problems, and it is multimodal grounds up. which means you can input any kind of media or text and get an output out of it, maybe explaining an image, maybe understanding a video, or maybe some text. Now, Gemini is Google's model, which you can go ahead and use Google Cloud or AI Studio to deploy or get the APIs out of it. On the other hand, Gemma is an open source lightweight model which can be deployed anywhere. It's a open source model. You can deploy in your own systems and use it. Let's quickly see a video.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is.
What does this remind you of? Schrodinger's cat.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. When all of these tools come together, it's a powerful combination.
It's amazing.
That's amazing.
It's an entire suite of different kind of possibilities.
Hi, I'm Gemini. What neighborhood do you think I'm in? This appears to be the King's Cross area of London.
Together, we're creating a new era.
So, in a nutshell, those are the things available right now out of the box for you to make use of it to build any kind of product, and specifically for this hackathon as well. Let's get one level deeper into what are the tools you can use, what are the tools what are the tools we recommend you use in your hackathon POCs, and then we'll go from top to bottom, where we have fully managed, we have a complete out of the box agent builder, where if you want to create agents, if you want to connect your data to your RAG systems, if you want document processors, all of this sitting behind an LLM, there is something called as agent builder in Vertex AI. You can go ahead and simply create agents. Now, where are these agents which can where are the places where these agents can be useful? Now, there are multiple use cases. For example, an agent which can support customers, an agent which can support employees, agent which can go get fetch data which you need. You do not need to go ahead and connect to different data sources and get an output. An agent which can help you in writing code, an agent which can help you find security issues in your systems. Right now, similarly, there are a lot of agents which we can definitely think of which can be used in our theme of this hackathon, which is AI for social cause. A quick um, intro into agent builder. So we have no code, low code, and full code solutions. If you want to go ahead build a search application, right, the search application would need a data which is your internal data. Search application would need basically a data source. Maybe it can be your unstructured, structured data, all of them put together, and you need an LLM sitting on top of it. Now, these building these would require a lot of effort if you want to start from scratch. For example, if you need to get files, you need to chunk the data. After chunking the data, you have to put it in a data source. After putting it in a data source, you need to find a similarity search, get those different chunking, combine those chunking, do a summarization, again do an LLM call, and get the output. All of this out of the box is available in agent builder. You can go and make use of it. Now, how simple it is: you go ahead, create an agent, the agent gets created. In the agent, in the background, go to tools, you can create the tools. Now these tools can be of any type. These tools can be your custom data sources. These tools can be a data source on SQL databases, or maybe doing an API call to your own backend custom API, or an API call to some open APIs, right? So all these tools combined together, and an agent sitting on top of it, then an agent deciding which tool to call when. All these via prompts can be done via agent builder today. Now all agents, or all um, applications would require grounding with your own data. Maybe um, you can go with out of the box solution, or do it with yourself solution. If you want to go with the out of the box solution, Vertex AI has something called as Vertex AI search. In this, all the complete section, basically collection, processing, embedding, putting it in data source, um, uh, uh, the search, the retrieval, the combination, all of this is automated via search AI. And then you simply go ahead and do the API call for serving. Or if you want to do it yourself, there are different kind of tools. For example, uh, you scrape some data, process it via document API, put it into Vertex, again, embed it, put it into Vertex search, again, then rank it, then do a nearest neighbor search, then you get the chunks, embed it, send it. So if you want to do it yourself, build your own RAG system, that's also possible. Moving ahead to the next section, which is model builder. This is where you have bare bone APIs. You can call those APIs and build your own application. For those, we have you can go ahead and use Gemini APIs directly out of the box. If the output of the Gemini API is not very custom to your use case, you can go ahead and tune those. Not just that, building application is the day one job. From day two, we have to do monitoring and deployment. So the complete pipeline of deployment, the complete pipeline of observability is built inside Vertex AI. You can go ahead and do a monitor and deploy there as well. I'll give you some examples on how to use it. So if you see, this is an example text given. This image, sorry, example image given. This image, you have few data written, handwritten data. You can simply put it inside your Vertex AI Gemini model, ask it to give output in JSON format. Once we have the output in JSON format, we can use this output in your code and do multiple processing further. Similar. Now, this is where the power of multi-model comes into the picture. Moving ahead, there's another example. If we have a product and if we want to understand the details about the product, for example, here we want to see how many diapers are there in this particular box. Right. So again, it will do image processing, it will do OCR, it will understand what it's written, it will understand the context, and then it can give you an output. You can get this output in JSON format or normal English format, and you can directly expose it to your application. Not just that, if you want to get something out of a video as well, for example, this is the sample video. Here, the use case is, this is a simple surfing video. We want to get a tourism ad for this video. So the model will go ahead, understand the video, understand the context, understand the query, and then give you a tourism ad. Now, further from here, we can do a lot of prompt engineering to set the theme of the ad. For example, what kind of market segment we are targeting, what kind of customers, the regional customers, different languages we choose from. So all of this can be done. Moving ahead, we just talked till now we talked about direct barebone API call. However, as we discussed, we can go ahead and do tuning on these models. Now, tuning can be supervised tuning or reinforcement learning. Again, we can have human in the loop as well. All of this becomes very simple from the console where you go to Vertex AI, you give your data, and you ask it to start tuning. And then at the end, you get a tuned model endpoint, and you directly call that model endpoint API. The heavy lifting of the tuning infrastructure, heavy lifting of the tuning part, apart from you giving the data, is again done by Vertex AI. Now let's talk about the next segment, which is Model Garden. Imagine you would want to try a lot of other models as well, which are apart from Gemini. However, deploying them becomes a challenge because you would need to understand how those model is deployed, what are the dependencies, um, after deployment, how do I infer it, how to do the call. All of this gets simplified into Model Garden, where Model Garden has Google's own foundational models. Again, foundation models from Gemini, Palm, image generation models, voice models, code generation models, all of these. Apart from Google partner models, for example, if you want to try out Llama 3 or Mistral AI, or if you want to try out Claude or deploy Gemma, not on your system, but you want to simply just try out Gemma or a new model, Polygemma. These things are very much simplified where you go to the Vertex AI, go to Model Garden, select the model you want, deploy the model, and directly do the infer. Now, even the third party or open source model gets simpler for you to use. Again, these are some of the models which are available. Again, there are very, very domain specific models as well. For example, MedLM, which is very much dedicated to medical science, and SecPalmLM, which is very much dedicated to cybersecurity. If you want to go ahead and use it, go to Model Garden and try it out. Not just that, if you see an awesome model from Hugging Face and you want to try it out, you want to deploy it, instead of going ahead and working on the hassle of doing sysadmin job to do the deployment, simply go ahead, give the Hugging Face URL, and you deploy it on Vertex AI inferencing and just do the inferencing through API call. Pretty straightforward. Now, this is very important aspect. Google Cloud helps provide necessary trust and confidentially deploy your services onto GCP. See, Vertex has been built in mechanisms like safety filters, content moderation APIs, which is directly applied wherever you deploy or use Google's model. So we make sure and we help customers to ensure the model responses are appropriate. The model responses do not cause harm to the users or your company policies. There are tools where you can go ahead, do the citations, grounding citations, which will prevent, again, model hallucinations. You want to keep the responses fresh, we have an option where you go ahead and do grounding from Google search. Again, model evaluation is needed. For example, how much the model has swayed since once we started, and we are not able to track it on our own. We have model evaluation frameworks, tools where you can go ahead and do the evaluation. Now, these are the things which make sure we are using AI responsibly. And when you are deploying or using Google's model, your application as well falls into the purview of responsible AI. That's all I had for today. Let me quickly go ahead and answer a few questions. Okay.
We have quite a few questions. So I'll just display them on screen for you.
Mm-hmm.
The first question is, what GenAI tools will we be using during the AI for Impact Hackathon?
Well, I suppose you are getting some some way around Google Cloud. So using Google Cloud, you have the option to use all the Gemini tools, all the Vertex AI tools. That is what we are expecting you to use for this hackathon. Okay.
What are the best practices for utilizing Vertex AI in project development?
Okay, this is a very good question. We definitely want you to utilize Vertex AI in a very secure manner. So, whenever you are utilizing any kind of APIs or any cloud product, first of all, make sure your authentication is done appropriately. The user which you are authenticating from has limited access to whatever is needed, specifically your code to which you are giving authentication. Go to IAM in Google Cloud, give access to only the products which you feel will be needed in uh, this application. Beyond that, do not give any other access. If you are going to production, deploy everything on a VM and give a service account instead of your user access. This is where these are some of the security best practices which I can talk about.
Okay. Thank you for answering that. The next question is about the data privacy measures that we should consider when using Google's AI tools.
Okay, so there are two aspects to it, Ganesh. Data. So first is, whenever you are using any of such enterprise products, for example, Vertex AI, the models which are used are frozen models, and the data which you share with the model is your own proprietary data. Google does not use that data to train any of the models when you are using it via Vertex AI. So, if you're concerned about data privacy while using Google's AI model, and if you are using via Vertex AI, you should not be concerned, because in our privacy policy, it's very clear that we use a frozen model for anything deployed on Vertex AI, and you own your own data. It does not come into our system to get trained. So any data which you keep inside your account in Vertex AI is secure. I mean, you need to make sure the access to it is secure. However, in general, Google does not have access to it and does not use this data.
Okay, so the next question is about the hackathon itself. Um, just a second. So somebody is asking if the hackathon is online, offline, or in a hybrid format. So I just like to inform you that the hackathon is completely online. So you can be anywhere in the APAC region and you can still participate in the hackathon. So the next question we can take is also about the hackathon. So somebody is asking that they have an idea under tech for better education, but no prototype is ready. Can we submit our idea as is? The answer to this is yes. You have time to develop a prototype. What we need is the idea. So you can still submit your idea and then you can work on your prototype. There seem to be a lot of questions. There's a question that says, are there any specific use cases for GenAI tools that you've seen have significant social impact?
Yes, lot of customers are actually building a lot of tools. Specifically in education sector, I have seen a lot of improvements since GenAI came into the picture. For example, kids in remote areas have access to these models, where if they have any questions, they can quickly go ahead and get answers directly by asking. If they have, if there is a math problem which is not getting solved, they can quickly go ahead and click a picture of it, get a solution, understand it. Again, there are a lot of developments being done in agriculture space, specifically in image processing. Again, the land area patch understanding. So yeah, there are tons and tons of use cases in which are doing good social impact, even in healthcare domains, right? Understanding different um, reports, which usually needs specialized skills, get simplified via AI.
Thank you for shedding light on that. So the last question that we are taking is, will the participants get complete access to the GenAI tools, including pro versions, to create a working prototype of the problem statements that they select?
Um, I think you will get access to Google Cloud account, and if you get access to Google Cloud account, you get access to all the AI tools.
Okay, so there are more questions. Um, will it be okay if I create Flutter application using Gemini API for Android, iOS, and web?
Yes. Why not?
So now we are taking the last question. Um, I'm a beginner. How should I start with Vertex AI and Gemini?
Go through the documentations. There are tons of videos where you will see how a simple API call can be done to Gemini. Start with there. Again, simple Python coding, do an API call. Once you get a request response, with the response, you can build your application on top of it. Again, go through the documentation.
Great. So thank you, Arjit. Anjit, thank you so much for the session. Thank you for answering all the questions. It was quite an interactive session. And thank you to everyone for joining us today. And remember that if you have any further questions or if you need any further support, you can feel free to reach out to us at AI4ImpactSupport@hacktoskill.com. We are also dropping the email in the chat for your reference. Best of luck with your hackathon journey, and we can't wait to see the amazing solutions that you come up with. All the best, everyone. Have a good day.